I'm live, finally live from Fukuoka Prefecture, Japan. How are you guys doing? I bet you were asleep again. I am sorry that I'm late, but I'm here with a happy news. With not a news is not. You can't make it. Never mind. Prime Minister Ishiba is finally resigning. Yes, yes. That's what I've been saying in my Japanese videos, all like for the past couple of weeks. Finally, I hope this time it is true. We've been having a really difficult time with Prime Minister Ishiba just being selfish. Like he lost our elections 3 times in a row, and 2 of them are actually not on like national elections. And usually, when your party loses so much, you have to just take the responsibility and quit, right? Because you're on that, you're the top person. But he refuses. He has refused to step down. Like yeah, it's crazy. But finally, he's gonna be gone. Yes. So it's 4:30 p.m. right now in Japan, and it seems that he's gonna go on a press conference at 6 p.m. So I need to quit this before that, though. Except if I receive a lot of super chat, then I might stay. But ahoy, beautiful people! Hello, thanks for coming. I saw the fiber optic cable cut and thought that ended the live stream. Oh, really? That happened? Super chat! Bird up! Hello! Hi, nice to see you. I just heard the good news, but who will replace him? My my bet is Miss Takaichi or Kobayashi. Like as known as Koba Hawk. No, Koba. No. That was my hope. I love Koba Hawk. No, Takaichi or Koizumi, the son of the former Prime Minister Junichiro Koizumi. There's this guy named Shinjiro, the son, Shinjiro. So Koizumi family, his father Junichiro used to be he was a prime minister when Bush was in power in America. So they had a good chemistry. He's the Koizumi. He's the dad. Koizumi is the guy who was imitating Elvis Presley, like jamming and so on, like the silly dad. Yeah, but anyway, yeah. So his son is not like really conservative. Rather, we have a lot of questions and doubts, and also he's not good at debates. So I don't know. But his wife is like mixed woman racially. She's so gorgeous, and she would make a great wife of the prime minister. Like we have emperor. Oh, the future emperor, by the way, here, beautiful. Anyway, so I will get to that later. But so we have the emperor. So like we don't say like first, right? Like we shouldn't say first lady, but yeah. So then like if it's Koizumi, then his wife would stand out, I think. Yeah. She did the omotenashi at the when we were trying to get Tokyo Olympics happen. His wife did this omotenashi and like a presentation at the like how they compete to get Olympics in their country. His wife did that. Like she's famous. She used to be like an anchor on a TV news program at night. So yeah. So, anyway, thank you so much for your super chat, Bird Up. It's nice to see you. Hello. Need to sleep now. No. hope you get a better PM. Like if it's thank you. If it's Takaichi, then I'm sure that Trump would like her because she is very strongly against China and all kinds of threats from China, right? And she's really good at like economic security too, and she was a minister for it before, and she knows a lot about policies. She's too serious though, so like it could be kind of boring because it wouldn't be more about ideology and so on. She would be more focused on policy, like, oh, in order to solve this we need to do this and that, and there are other policies like this, and like, yeah, professional. So yeah, but she would go visit Yasukuni Shrine, and South Korea and China would be angry, even though it's about our own country, but those neighboring countries would be offended. So that would be annoying. So many people here are actually concerned about it. So I don't know how the public will react. But if Takaichi becomes the next prime minister, like she will, that will mean that she will be the first prime minister, first female prime minister in Japan. So it will be historical. So the public will be, we will be happy, right? Like it's a historical time that we would witness, and also, let's see, yeah, the world too. The world will react too, I think, that, oh, Japan, finally, female prime minister. So that would make liberals in the world happy. So that would be great. Oh, super chat, thank you so much, Rater. Is that the correct way to read? Wait, I'm trying to press hard. Yes, thank you so much. That means a lot. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow, that pink is shining. Thank you. Okay, now I'm already in a good mood. Thank you. Yeah, our prime minister's, like right now, Ishiba is still in power, so he will go on a press conference at 6 p.m. Japan time. So I must go before that, but if you keep super chat coming, I might stay. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. My husband and I are planning on a business trip soon. We have a lot to work on. So yes, your financial help really, like, it really helps us. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm really excited about our activities for the rest of the year. We have a lot going on, so I will let you know like what happens, and yeah, all that. It's all China related and Russia related though. Yeah, thank you, thank you. Over up again, thank you so much. Takaichi should post drumming videos. Easy landslide victory. That would be cool. Yeah, she. There was a time like years ago though. She went on a music TV program, and she's such a fan of X Japan. If you know that band, X Japan. So yeah, she sang. She actually sang it on TV. Like, yeah, really, really. She was really into it, and it was so funny. This other politician, like a minister, went on TV and sang too. But yeah, sometimes Japan is silly like that. Yeah, yeah. She used to play drums, and also she used to do kendo like I do, right? Or I did, and also she's a biker, like a more, is it called motorcycle? She rides on a bike. Oh, that would be cool if, let's say, like, I'm just daydreaming right now already. Like, if Miss Takaichi becomes the first prime minister of Japan, visit the US, she should go to like a Harley or something and ride a bicycle. Not bicycle, motorcycle or something. That would be cool. It would be so fun. I'm sure Taro Kono will run for PM again, won't he? No, I don't think so. Right now, like he would love to, but I don't think that he has the support right now. Right now, the names that we hear are Takaichi, Koizumi, Kobayashi, Kobahawk, right? And then Motegi, and who else? There was like one more person I was hearing. Man, it's bad luck. If Yoko doesn't remember, that's bad. Like the person doesn't have enough, like strong enough impression on Yoko. That's not good. And let's see, I skipped a lot of comments. Kobayashi Maru is a famous part of Star Trek. Ooh. Hello, Yoko. Hello. What is your opinion of India's Prime Minister Modi siding with China and Russia? Do you approve or disapprove? Is this good, bad, or neutral for Japan? It's pretty neutral, I think. I mean, right before he went to the gathering of that side, he visited Japan, I think. He visited here, right? Like we got to talk, and Japan decided to invest in India, right? Like I covered that a few weeks ago, I think. Yeah, and then the Indian people will be coming here, you know, to acquire some qualifications and get better at work, and then they will go back to their country and so on. That sort of interaction is happening, and we are investing in India, and we have a healthy relationship, and also we like they are the counter partner of our defense too, as you know, like Quad and so on. Quad is India, right? So that's good, and we have known that India is like kind of swinging always. That's how they has to do their politics. Do I like it? I actually don't, but I do understand where they're coming from, and so yeah, like they've been kind of close to Russia and China, even though they have the border issue with China, but they need to survive. So they are finding a way to peacefully live. But at the same time, they are still on our side when it comes to national security. What's good to see, though, is that so Modi went on, he's friendly with China and Russia. However, he posted, like I reposted his post. I'm still getting used to the retweet and stuff. Yeah, I reposted his post on X, which said, and he said that he appreciates Trump. He wants to do well with him, and Trump also now look back and realizes that he kind of pushed Modi to China and Russian side. So I'm pretty sure that they will communicate more. Sorry, my throat. Yeah. And Japan is, some of us are concerned. I've seen posts like that, is Modi on their side now? Have we lost India and so on? But it's not going to happen geographically because they have to protect themselves, especially from China. So I don't. I'm not too pessimistic, And now that Japan's prime minister will be changed, at least it will be better. Whoever it will be, he or she will be better than Ishiba, so the dynamics will change. Japan hopefully will play a key role, in all the dynamics. So, yes. Koizumi had that unusual wild wavy hairstyle. Yes, yes, yes. Shinzo Abe's spirit deflected the bullet that was meant for Trump. Yes, he's watching over us. Quick question: does the Chinese deliver drug trafficking in Japan? Chinese deliver drug trafficking? I don't understand the grammar, but there was a case in, I believe that was in Nagoya, Aichi Prefecture, that they were smuggling some drugs. Well, it's called fentanyl. So like Chinese group had a building in Japan, and like they had some business, like they used a Japanese company or something, and then that went to America. So that was the route. So we were used, but I don't know how it worked. But Japanese people are concerned about that. But we don't hear about that anymore. I don't know what happened to that case. Ishiba is resigning for immigration? No, 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 no. He just doesn't want to take the responsibility. He refused to take the responsibility for the loss of their elections 3 times in a row. It's like usually like when the prime minister. So how it works in Japan is that LDP is the main ruling party in Japan, and LDP decides their leader inside their party with the votes of the national parliament members and the LDP supporters in Japan. I cannot vote because I'm not an LDP supporter. You have to pay, it's a small amount of money. You pay for the party and get registered, and then you get a vote, And then, so it's a combination of, usually it's a combination. If they go full spec, it's the parliament member, LDP people and supporter combined. There's a ratio of the votes, and they pick the new leader. And because LDP is a main party, the top becomes the prime minister. So we don't get to, we only get to vote for LDP or not, right? In general, elections, and then they decide by themselves. And so the last election too, the LDP lost. There was a recent mayor election in Kumamoto, Yatsushiro City, and LDP was pushing one candidate, and the candidate didn't win again. So LDP really is by far it was bad. So they're really weak. So they are finally deciding to change the election. Usually, if you lose once, you change the leader, because that's what happens in politics. The top has to take the responsibility. And Ishiba was the kind of LDP politician who was attacking the leaders in and outside of LDP who remained who stayed in power. Abe, when Abe lost, I think it was House of Council election back in 2007 or so. Ishiba was the guy oh, Abe, you need to quit. He points finger at others, and even the Kang, the Democratic Party leader at the time, who was a prime minister, I believe that Ishiba was attacking him also. So, yep. Hayako, do you invite open microphone to chat? I don't think so. I'm not good at the conversations. But when I'm better at English, but I would. How do they do that though? like people jump on microphones. I will have to be really confident to do that. It would be cool though. But I'm thinking of creating a membership service, because I really enjoy seeing you guys interact with each other. I think that it'll be good to create a chat room. So I thought, I guess I could make a Discord server, and if you guys join my membership, then you can go to this certain server. But I'm not a Discord user. Like, I have an account, but I don't use it, so I don't know how it works. So hopefully I don't make any mistakes of, the setting and so on. But yeah, that's what I'm considering right now. So yeah, and then because I'm random Yoko, I'll randomly show up in the chat. That'll be fun, I think. So yeah. Indian workers to come in here. Yeah. Takaichi is woman. Yes, yes. Do we have pictures here? I mean, I could Google her picture. I just saw a picture of Elon Musk here. Do you see him? Yeah, a little bit. He's like within the, like in 10 years, he's gonna be, how much is that? Is it, what's the unit? Trillion or $1 trillion reward from Tesla? I don't have the pictures of Takaichi and others, but yeah. Oh, Super Chat, thank you so much. What do you think is the reason for Ishiba's resignation? I don't actually know the pronunciation. Reason? No, like he has been he was supposed to quit on the day that he lost the election, but because he's a prime minister and he has so much power, he refused to step down. Yeah, the first time, so he lost 3 times in a row. The first time was 8 days after his launch of his administration. It started was it in October? I think October, early October. He became the prime minister, and then eight days later he dissolved the parliament. I mean and so we had a national election, and he lost. So he could have I was thinking he should quit, right? But it was, I guess, a little too early anyway, and we just let it go and went with it because we get it, so he, in my opinion, he should have quit at that time, but went on. And then we had Tokyo elections, and then they lost, but it's still a regional election. We didn't care too much, I guess. It was bad, but LDP couldn't make it happen. I was saying Ishiba might quit in April or so. That was because of the election, no, not the election, because House of Councilors election was coming in July. So depending on the result of Tokyo elections, we thought that LDP will decide, realize that they cannot win with Ishiba as their top. So I was we were all thinking they will have a healthy judgment to replace him with somebody else, somebody that can actually win the election, the coming election in July. They didn't. They didn't change. And then they went into the election, House of Council elections. Again, they lost in this national election. So then that's the end, right? Like 3 strikes, like he should go, right? Like we were bearing with him, but like he needs to go. But he's like, oh, we need to examine what happened, and I will need to consider what to do, what's the best for the country, blah blah blah. And we're like, what's there to think about? You lost, And that's why in my Japanese videos, I have a channel named Shin Random Yoko. Shin meaning like new or divine or something like that. It can be many things. Anyway, on my Japanese channel, I'm like, oh, Ishiba must go. He needs to resign right now. He lost 3 times in a row. Blah blah blah. So, yeah, it's I don't know. Like that wouldn't happen in other countries. I guess I don't know. I don't know about other countries, but yeah. Usually, like it's been a thing that, yeah. Usually leaders just quit. Like in the past, LDP leaders, like it's not on the it's not listed as rules though. It's just common understanding, like common sense that they quit. But Ishiba is like, oh, like I need to think about what's gonna happen, and oh, there's meetings with foreign leaders are coming up. Oh, the African meeting. Oh, the meeting with Modi. Like I have to be here as a prime minister because it's all prepared. We don't actually care, and we rather don't want him anymore, and that's why we voted him out basically by not voting for LDP. But he's like, hey, oh, earthquake is coming, so I need to be here as the prime minister, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's so ridiculous. So we are sick and tired of all these excuses to stay in power. He's basically abusing his power as prime minister. So, and the mainstream media, though, because they are left biased, the majority of mainstream media are left biased, so they are siding, like they are supporting Prime Minister Ishiba. And what came to, this is interesting for you probably. So what came to the light is that they have like polls, right? Surveys asking like Japanese people, like voters, what to think about Ishiba. Like, should he go or should he stay, Even though he was reflected in the election, they still like call the landline phones and a bit cell phones too. But landlines, the young people, like at my house too, we don't have landlines anymore, Who uses landlines? Only at work and so on, right? And old people. So what we all learned through the surveys is that like there were people, looked into the data. We say data. You say data. And it turns out that because they are like what should I go? Like basically like elderly people answer the surveys, and elderly people support Ishiba because they're old-fashioned. They don't know the current matters in the world. They don't know what he's been doing inside LDP. Like they only know the information that the media show, so they don't know the problems of Ishiba. So of course they're gonna, support him. And he used to go on like a political news coverage or like a talk show and so on too. So like he was kind of popular among the elderly people. So of course the number is positive, right? And younger people do not like him. I do not like him. And conservative people, especially like because Ishiba was attacking Abe all the time, we dislike him. We love Abe, and he was attacking him, so we don't like Ishiba, right? So the younger people, though, when they respond to the surveys, we are like, we don't like Ishiba. So, and also the problem is that the correspondents, those who answered the surveys, So older people answer, but the number of older people is not as many in the demographic of voters, if you know what I mean. Like it's all, so like as a result, like it's so hard to tell you the premise, but as a result though, is that it's like all the people bias is happening and it's not accurate, but Ishiba is somehow, he wants to stay in power, so of course like, and the media is, for the left bias media, he's like better than others inside LDP because he's the liberal type of, he believes he's conservative but not really, and he's not, he doesn't have good knowledge about China or Russia today, so yeah, so not good, right? And the left media supporting him and blah blah blah. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Oh, thank you so much for your super chat. My birthday is on Friday. Happy birthday, Kim! Happy birthday! Yay! Are you a Virgo? I'm a Virgo. Yeah, Ishiba is resigning. Ishiba resigning is my early birthday present. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, it's a good belated birthday present for me too. At first, he was saying like at the end of August. So how it happened was that at first, he was supposed to quit on the day that he lost, but then he extended it to August, by the end of August. But August 15th was an important day for us. It's the end of the World War II for us. And we didn't want him to comment on anything about history. But he just stayed, and now it's September. Like, it's so long, but finally, though, finally. Ooh. Yes. I'm male, by the way. I assumed. What? Oh, because I said Virgo? No, I'm trying to, by asking you Virgo, I'm trying to find a common thing with me because I'm a Virgo. Yeah. First woman prime minister, is she like Laura Loomer? The passion is similar, but Takaichi is very realistic and policy focused. So it's a little different, I guess. Yoko, how would you feel if the Sanseto Party are in power in Japan? They wouldn't. First of all, they wouldn't be in power unless some ruling party goes crazy. You know what Kamiya said recently? What was the person? He said that, wait, let me check the number. If I remember, I don't know if I can get that though. Did he say 10%? Let me check. Hold on. Let me check. He commented on he was trying to say that oh yeah, here. So he's Kamiya, the Sanseto leader Kamiya said that, I can translate. He claims that Japan is originally a country of immigrants, like from back in the day, and mixed blood. So it's weird not to accept immigrants, and says it's okay to gradually accept them up to 10% of the total population. So bad. Like, I guess he was trying to, the narrative that he was trying to create though probably is that, oh, we are already mixed, just make sure that it doesn't cross this certain number. But he says 10%. That's too many, man. And those foreigners make babies more easily because we Japanese are really such a realist, and we are modest, and we calculate all the financial burdens beforehand. So that's why we don't take the risks to have babies right now, under the economic circumstances. But people from other countries probably will not think that way, and their cultural backgrounds are different, so they're going to just have babies after one another, right? But Kamiya is like this, like he doesn't even know, like he says like, oh, like, Japanese first, blah blah blah, but he doesn't even think about this issue seriously. That's why he can't even get the number correctly. So yeah. But he was on TV today, like a major TV program today, like earlier. And the topic was actually immigration. So that's why I put like immigration, And it's interesting because those who support immigration in Japan and those who oppose to immigration, I actually understand both sides, like what they're saying. It does make sense, and it's really like Japan has come to a point where we need to actually depict the system, like Japanese social system, but we are not talking about it. Why? Because useless politicians like Ishiba is in power. Yes, let's see. Geography decides a lot of things. I agree. $1 trillion. Yeah. But it's geography decides everything. But because of that, though, the shift that I'm seeing is that Japan used to be really, really like dependent on America, generally. But Trump plays differently, right? Like he is more about like one-on-one connections or diplomacy, one-on-one, instead of the like a multi-country framework, if you know what I mean. Like instead of like, I don't know, Quad or whatever, he likes to talk to the leader one-on-one and decides or like have deals, so I guess that we are like the counterparts, like Japan and European countries, or India or Australia. Like we are like, oh wait, like is that how you're gonna play, right? Like yeah. And then so what's happening is that Japan is realizing it's a good shift, that like he's like basically like showing the reality that, oh, like you guys need to be an adult, basically, like do everything by your own and then communicate, basically. I guess that's the impression that I have. So right now, Japan, our ties with the UK and Australia and India too, it's all strengthening, meaning like with sea power countries, like our ties are getting stronger. So that's a good shift, I think. Like it's not going to change. Japan and the US, like you cannot cut our ties, we love each other, right? But on the top of that, Japan is finding a way to work with the UK and India and Australia, so that's really great. I saw, let's see, there was 2+2 with Australia. Oh, maybe it's yesterday's newspaper. If I had a good microphone, you would enjoy this paper sound better. ASMR. Oh yeah, here. Australia too, but doesn't Australia have a lot of Chinese immigrants? Here, 2+2 with Japan, Australia, national security cooperation strengthening, confirmed strengthening national security cooperation. So it's the core of our cooperation. So that's great. Yes, so they confirmed the free and open Indo-Pacific strategy and to peaceful, stable, prosper. And yeah, like we mutually positioned each other as the like a core pillar of our like allied countries and so on, and that we will be against the unilateral change of the current circumstances by force and so on. And yeah, and Australia is installing Japan type vessel. So that's cool. Yeah, there's a picture. Yay! So that's happening. That's great. Yep. Oh, by the way, Japan and the US, now we have a deal. Right? Did you see the handshake video that I posted? Yeah, but they even have this picture like, oh, from like there will be a meeting with Japan and the US, and the US will have a committee, and then it will go to President Trump, and then he will decide what to invest and so on. Are we like the ATM? I don't know how it's gonna, like, it's not transparent enough, so I don't know if I can evaluate, like Ishiba administration is, I don't know, like I don't know if it's good or bad, like the deals and so on. So for Japanese side, yeah. By the way, Japan is this is talking about our pay, minimum wage going up. So that's cool because it has all the numbers. Like, I know it's mirrored, but you kind of get it, like it's $1 is 150 yen now, I think. Like back in the day, I had to just like increase by 10 times, but now it's by 15. I mean, yeah. But anyway, my place, where's Fukuoka? My place, Fukuoka, is 1,057 yen per hour. Yeah. Yeah. That's why I ask you to give me super chat. Yeah. ATM deal. By the way, Hakata was great. Oh, you visit Hakata? Cool. Lots of great food. Motsunabe hits the spot when you are feeling sick. Yeah. I know. I've been there, like I was like when I was feeling kind of, weak or down, like I have had Motsunabe. It was good. Yeah, I'm glad you liked it. Let's see. ASMR with newspaper works. Cool. Oh, Super Chat, thank you so much. Could you explain what Sanseito wants the emperor to do? Do they want the emperor to have political power? I don't think so, but like they're supposed to be conservative. At least that's what they say, but they're not conservative. Rather, like the radical right wing with just like a more of a totalitarianism, like their party itself is dictatorship. It's just the Kamiya decides everything. just like the Japanese Communist Party, basically, the way that they do elections and the way they organize their party, it's very similar to the Japanese Communist Party. Yeah, and Kamiya is just powerful, and also their party members are cheating on their wives. Like it's multiple, like it's not like one guy. They have some mistresses. It's so weird. And also, like one secretary of Kamiya committed a suicide before. We don't get to hear the details because it's confidential. Yeah, so it's weird. But as for Emperor, I don't know what they're thinking about. But what I saw though, like their supporters posting pictures of Kamiya as the emperor and Saya as the what's the word, empress. It's so wrong. It's so disrespectful. Like I'm even kind of like like when I show you this picture, I'm like no, like oh, like, I can't. This future emperor, So like I'm like oh. I can't. It's bad even to put it down here. I need to put it like up here, like it's holy. It's so holy. So yeah, but then their supporters don't even understand what Japan is and what conservatives want to conserve and so on. So it's really terrible. But emperor is lost in translation, just so you know. It's in Japanese, it's tenno, and when you translate that as emperor, I feel like it's lost in translation because it's not like emperor is ruling our country. He's just there, just like your god is watching over you. Our emperor is here. It's the emperor again is the weird term. But our tenno is there watching over us. It's like always there. They like. It's a shirasu culture. I can't translate that, but it's like knowing us, seeing us, knowing us, and we're happy about it, if you know what I mean. And they eat with gods, like our deities, like for example, when we have the first rice harvest, is it in, what's the date though? I'm supposed to know that, but in the fall, they have this harvesting thing, and then at the ceremony, our tenno emperor eats the meal, with the new rice with the deities. So it's special like that, and our emperor is always praying for us. It's not political. It's like customs and rituals and all the spiritual things, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Deity, yeah. Let's see. Oh, Yoko ATM, yes! You guys are my ATM. I'm a horrible streamer. But thank you. Thank you so much. It really helps me. Thank you. But I'm, giving you all the perspectives and information. So you just have to tell me what to talk about, and I will give you as much as I know. At least I can, translate, I guess, if I don't know things. Yoko, I'm saying you were more fierce anti-immigration and anti-Korea. Yeah, the times were different. Like, until Abe administration, the left was so strong. Today, the right side is stronger. So that's good. So like my role shifted, you know. And with Korea though, like realistically, like I did bring up a lot of issues with South Korea. Why? Because South Korea was the only side that was insisting their historical viewpoints and their or territorial viewpoints. I, as a conservative, at that time, things were different. People were not politically opinionated back then. I was one of the few people, especially online, to talk about politics individually. So I took the role, voluntarily to show the Japanese perspective, because back then people were anonymous, and they were just posting here and there, and also there were political conservative figures, but it's not like they're just doing it within the circle. So I rather went darkly at South Koreans and also internationally, because I thought it's just wrong, right? Like when you listen to some kind of problem, you need to hear both sides. But like the world was listening to only the South Korean side. So I'm like, I just showed the Japanese side. Doesn't mean that I want to cut the ties with South Korea. Our ancestors fought a lot to do well in the region, and that's a Japanese perspective, by the way. And I don't want to shift back the history. Like I don't want to give South Korea to the Chinese side. South Korea is a fortress. They need to be there as South Korea. But Japanese right wings do not like South Korea just because their views are different, and it's so emotional. It's so childish in my opinion. It's important that they are patriotic, but it doesn't mean that they should think emotionally and that they should push South Korea away. It's stupid to push them away. We need to push them, to our side, to be friendly with each other. Like friends fight. Friends should know like what each of us are thinking, right? And it's been decades since all the things that happened in the past, and so our generation is moving on. So, and now with the rise, we have internet has become the infrastructure as well. So the time really have changed. So I'm rather like stopping the conservatives from going radical, if you know what I mean, because pushing South Korea to the Chinese side is ridiculous, and I need to stop that. So that's why I don't really talk about issues with South Korea anymore, because South Korean side is not saying that anymore either. Yeah. And immigration, as for immigration, it's tricky because we are talking about different things at the same time. So my head isn't organized enough to talk about immigration, but I want to attempt to. That's why I put it in the title today. But yeah, first let me get the super chat. Thank you so much for a super chat many times. Thank you. Will you stream Ishiba's press conference? I don't have the copyright though. I'll get the copyright claim, I guess. But I guess I could maybe I can run this while my husband watching the TV. He will translate for me political words to me in regular Japanese, and I will translate that to English. Yeah. But immigration, the reason why Japan, is getting immigrants is because, of course, because of the a low birth rate, and that like Japanese people don't want to do the dirty work, either. Like by dirty work, I don't mean like Malise work. I mean like convenience stores and so on. No matter how much you bring up the wage, I don't think the Japanese people would want to take that sort of jobs anymore. I see that aspect. And also, like, there are a lot of like regional imbalance. The problems that the cities are having and the countryside are having are different too. So that's why, like, I can't logically think well. But yeah, fundamentally, of course, like, I saw a video of this like African looking woman, but probably a native speaker of English. Like, she was complaining about how racist Japanese people are because of the signs that some restaurants have at the entrance, like, oh, if you can read this in Japanese, then you can enter the restaurant. If not, please do not come, or something like that. And she was saying like how racist that is. But practically though, like, Japanese people only speak Japanese. I'm an exception, and even my English is not good enough. But like, we only know Japanese people. It's only a recent thing that the globalism, spread more than before. And especially because our economy is bad now, we are depending on tourism. And because of that, we are now like interacting with foreigners for the first time, basically, with a large amount. But we're not used to it. And people in other countries often speak English, but that's because either you were the colonizer or the countries were colonized by English-speaking countries, right? Those, like, Japanese, we were occupied, but we were not colonized. So our language was not stolen, So we speak Japanese. We have spoken Japanese, only Japanese. So there's a language barrier, and the majority, like 97.8% of Japanese people, yeah, 90 something percent are Japanese people. Like, we are starting to see foreigners regionally too, but it's a really recent thing. So, like, it's like we are like meeting the unknown for the first time, kind of, if you know what I mean, like on a daily life level. So, like, you can't expect a lot from Japan right now. But the problem is that our government is pushing, like, oh, foreigners, come to Japan, like, oh, tourism, come, right? And then we are not ready. So that's the problem that I see. And also those, and when I was watching a TV show today, I saw some people, like those who opposed to immigration, they were pointing out that Japanese government do not use the term immigrant. And it's usually for like, skilled worker, blah, 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 or it's a qualification and blah, blah, blah. It's so vague, and it's like tricking people, by the terms that they use. They do not directly say like immigrant, or they do not directly say workers in general. So that's why it's like kind of complicating the problems, if you know what I mean. So if they want to accept immigrants, as workers, then they should just say it as it is. But they don't do that because they don't want to be opposed, because Japanese people, like, we have only known our own kind. We are kind of open to South Koreans because many of them live here. But at least, like, with them, like, our appearances are not much different. We often cannot even differentiate each other from each other. And then they have a good, like, cultural background, like, they just soak into Japan. So we are thankful for that, And yeah. And the recent problem is that the people from other regions, like Chinese people, like, it depends, but yeah. But if people come from like like really different places, then their cultural backgrounds are so different, right? At least like East Asians are East Asians, but other regions like have different cultural backgrounds, so they don't even follow the rules about taking out the garbage and trash. And you need to distinguish in Japan, by the way, garbage, trash, plastic, paper. You need to we have all these different types of, bags to put all the things in, and you need to pay for that, by the way. It's basically a tax, so that sort of things. And the foreigners do not follow that. The big reason why is because they do not understand Japanese. So that's a key thing that they were talking about today, that, oh, like, whether it's good or bad that foreigners live here, like, how are we gonna, like, it's important that they understand Japanese because we only speak Japanese, as I said. So how are we going to do that though? Like, if they are kids, like people online on X especially, they're concerned about the Kurdish issue in Kawaguchi, I believe Saitama. But at least, like, because of that, now LDP politicians, like conservative side, were saying that we need to like assimilate them, so that they will follow the rules and so on. Yeah, because they are feeling isolated, and that's one issue, so that they go bad like a punk, right? So, and if the children generation assimilate well, then their family, like their parents' generation, will be, I don't know, hopefully. This is a really optimistic viewpoint, I know, but that's what they're thinking, right? So yeah, you can do that with children, but those workers, like those who are already adults, when they come here and do not speak Japanese, what are we gonna do? Like, first of all, should we let them in? That sort of things. And also, one thing that they don't talk about though is the tracking system. Liberals here in Japan, they, of course, always they talk about human rights, and they hate the idea like tracking people, like surveillance system. Even like back in the day, they were opposing to security cameras because they are shady people. But they always bring up all the other aspects to oppose to the idea. But now security cameras are everywhere. That's good. But tracking of the foreigners who enter Japan would be very, very important. But Japan is not doing that. So we should talk about that more. And as for like a working environment, those who oppose to immigration on TV were saying that, it's good that workers like, like look at China. Like China, they want to get a good job, but they can't because of the competition and so on. And other countries, even America, like unemployment is an issue that they are tackling, right? But in Japan, because of the like low birth rate, young people can get a job easily. Like companies want them to come work, right? So that's a really gifted situation, So that's what they were talking about. But those who oppose to that, though, is that because of that, though, like companies are, what's the word? Like, they can't sustain their business and going out of business because they don't have workers. And that is affecting the Japanese economy. So there was like, both sides have a point. So in my opinion, I think that small businesses should just end their business and do something else with where the demand is, like you shouldn't hold on to what doesn't work. That's my personal opinion. But if that's the big company though, or really critical company, what happens in Japan is that, for example, when we make a ship or something, or airplanes, like small companies are actually making the important parts. So if they go out of business, then we can't sustain the big industry. So that's what happens often in Japan. So that's why we can't just have an extreme opinion, if you know what I mean. So difficult. Anyway, I rambled for a while. Let's look at your comments. Let's see. USA federal minimum wage is $7, $7.25. Oh, that's similar, I guess. Federal. We are not a federal government. It's not like it's a regional thing. I don't know how it's decided, though. It's just companies decide by their own, and government just urge them to follow their request. Nothing is mandatory in Japan. Ishiba is resigning. Yes, he is. How many Sanseto online supporters are just aged teenagers? Actually, many such cases European actual radical parties. Sanseto party supporters are actually millennials or older. Like, even not even my generation, or some of them are, but a little bit older than me. You know, like those who are 40, late 40s, 50s, or something like that. Those older generation who had never been interested in politics, but personally had all the frustration with the economy and so on, finally waking up because their message is so simple, you know, and radical, and it speaks to you, you know. Let's see. There are foreigners living in Japan who like them. Like who? Yeah. Yeah, it's so interesting that there are foreigners living in Japan who really just live with us well, you know. Like I know many foreigners in Japan personally, and they are all great, you know. And I just don't understand how others are not like that. Education. Probably education problem, but I'm hoping that, you know, just like what's happening on X, you know, there are those like foreign people who are living here that are just like us, you know, and they hopefully show the examples of how foreigners should assimilate to Japan, you know, like become the good examples. And then hopefully they will speak the language with those misbehaving foreigners, if you know what I mean. Because if we say all that stuff that I'm saying here, those people, those foreigners in Japan will get offended that they want to play the victim, right? But if they talk to the people with the same backgrounds, they can't bring up the card. So hopefully there'll be good people here. But though I saw the news today though, this is about the UK. This is Nigel Farage. Do you like him? He's on the newspaper today. The UK right-wing party, the support rate increasing rapidly, and they have this. I know it's probably showing it in the opposite direction, but yeah, it's like skyrocketing. So like it does say that so illegal immigration countermeasures and blah blah blah. They're talking about illegal immigrants. So news like this helps for Japan. that all European countries are facing this sort of problems, and that the public opinions are changing like this and that. And if we get to see that, our, the problem with politicians is that they are elites, and that they do not value the public opinion online because they look down on cyberspace, if you know what I mean, like oh, YouTuber, or she must be stupid or something like that, because they are elites. The elites have this, they're living in this different world. But if news like this get on the newspaper, and especially if the supporting rate and everything in other countries are changing, then our politicians will have to accept the fact that things are changing. So that's good, I think. Yeah. Next Prime Minister of Britain. Oh, I'm American, but from what I hear, he's better than the alternatives, but he's still not what they want. Huh. Interesting. He's not right enough. He will continue the status quo. Oh, interesting. He's better than Labour, but he personally constantly changes views. That's not good. But populist doesn't mean he's a populist. Like, populist will be actually good, because if you create a good public opinion, then he will listen to that. That's why I kind of like Yuriko Koike, the governor of Tokyo. I hope. Oh man, I have forgotten about her. She could all of a sudden come to the picture, to become the prime minister and so on. She's always looking at the opportunity. She'll be actually good, she's kind of liberal, but as for national security and so on, she is really conservative, and really charismatic and powerful as a politician. She survives well among all the men. It's really impressive. Yeah, and she's a populist, so she knows what's trending and so on and jumps on it. She has an AI Yuriko. How supporters and so on creates AI video and so on of politicians. She does the opposite. She becomes the AI herself and read the news and so on, or states her opinion, because she used to be an anchor of TV program. So it's called AI Yuriko. So stuff like that. She's really good at doing things. Anyway, sorry for skipping comments, but if you give me super chat, I will jump on it. A lot of Indians in Family Mart. I can't distinguish between Indians and Pakistani. Pakistani? Is it how do you call Pakistan people? Pakistan人. 英語. Yeah, I was right. Pakistani. Why E? Pakistani? Not Pakistanian. It's confusing sometimes. Pakistani. But I remembered it. Cool. But yeah, all the so-called brown people, I can't distinguish them. And what happens is that, and Nepal, right? Yeah. インドレストランは何系が多いって言ってたっけ？Nepal. So Indian restaurants in Japan, I mean in Fukuoka especially. So when we visit, or when we go eat Indian restaurants, we see brown people, right? And then I assume that they're from India, but many of them are from Nepal. So It's like, I don't know what Indian people think of that though. It's kind of, I wanna hear. I wanna ask Indian people one day, like, what do you think of that? There, it's like in the States, if you go to Japanese restaurants, there are Chinese or Korean people working there and not Japanese people, and I feel upset, because they're like pretending to be Japanese, but they're not. I shouldn't care because it's just a restaurant and it's just, they're there to work. But like you would just assume that they are, you know, the race. But yeah. It's all about ensuring that people have pressure to assimilate. Oh, yeah, pressure. I like that word, pressure. People provided housing and assistance with that question have no need to assimilate. Yeah. I mean, but what I was actually telling my husband today, that after showing the coverage of immigration on TV, that good foreigners, I shouldn't say foreigners, but yeah, those who live here for a while, coming from other countries, living here, many good foreigners, they leave. Those who with like a high cultural backgrounds, common sense and everything, people like us, they often leave Japan because Japanese society is too hard for them, because they have all the expertise and common sense and high status and so on. They can go anywhere in the world, and they can pick and choose where it fits the best for them, And Japanese society, like working culture, is really difficult. It's been changing mildly, but still hard enough for people from other countries, right? So those like Americans or Europeans and so on, it's hard for them to actually live here, to be part of our society, to be employed by Japanese business owner. It's tough. It's tough for me too. I'm Americanized, and it's tough. Like my mind is really like American influence is big on me, and it's so hard for me. So that's why I do this, instead. Uh, so they leave. My friends, many just left Japan because it's tough living here, and those who don't have any career back home just stayed here. They're staying here still, but and also I see like from other Asian countries, they're here because it's better money for them and so on. So that sort of people will stay here, instead of those who we expect like, oh, we are similar, more like similar, they will leave, and those people will stay here. So that's tough. But hopefully, though, like how Japan grew as a country, especially like in the 1800, 1900, or early 1900, and so our people at the time went to Europe, like France or the British Empire and so on. They went there to learn, or Germany too. They went to learn the high-tech things and also all the like military things and so on, and then brought the knowledge back to Japan and installed it to Japan. And based on that, our country grew for the better, and I'm really hoping that people from other countries will do the same for their own country. I mean, be patriotic, It's hard for me to imagine like leaving your country to live in another country because of your benefits. Sometimes that's the case that's a path that you have to take because of financial problems. But after I learned the true Japanese viewpoints of history and so on, like I wanted before I wanted to become American, you know, because America is awesome. But after I learned about all the ancestors' struggles and contribution and everything, you know, like how they were feeling back in the day and so on, I'm like, I have to stay here and do the same for them and for the people after us. You know, I just want to do more for my own country. So I just wish that other people from other countries would have the same kind of passion for their own country. Many of the Asian friends that I have here in Japan, and also it doesn't matter where, like especially those who are oppressed by China, Tibet, Uyghur, Southern Mongolia, and even Hong Kong. Those people want to go back, you know, they want to take back their own land, and that's why they are working with us or our parliament members, you know, to make it happen so that they can take back their land. So those foreigners are definitely different from other like labor-based foreigners too. So like foreigners is such a big topic, in my opinion. Yeah. Anyway, oh super chat! Thank you so much, Bird Up. A lot of super chat. Just down the street from where I live, there is a Vietnamese restaurant across the street from a small Thai food restaurant, and both are run by the same family. Same family, but different. Vietnam and Thai. Wow. Who are Cambodian. They're not even. At least like I expected like either Vietnamese or Thai, but not even that. Cambodian. It's so funny. They must be really good at cooking. Man, I would love to live there though. By the way, like I like all the ethnic foods. You know, my most favorite is actually from is Uyghur. Like eat Turkestan food. Best. It's the best. It's so good. Yeah. Mongolian food is good too. It's a lot of ram. Yeah. The Tibet too. Like they have ram. Is it called ram mutton? They have that, and I love that meat so much. Yeah, in Japan we don't eat ram, so it's gradually it's growing, but it's like really gradual. We only have fish and chicken, beef, pork. That's pretty much it. Yeah, we are the minority in the world who do not eat ram or mutton. Let's see. I went to a Japanese restaurant. I spoke Japanese and they didn't understand me. They were Chinese. Yeah, Chinese people have a really thick accent. I can tell too. It's like there are like sometimes YouTubers make good videos of mocking the accent. If you understand Japanese, follow Daijiro. He is so funny. Daijiro. He is really good at impersonating like a foreign accent, and also he understands English so well and compare with Japanese, like how. Yeah. Oh, I'm not subscribed to him. Daijiro. He's so funny. He has 856,000 subscribers. So tasty. Greek place in the first time when I was kid. Greek place? Oh, I like. Did I tell you what I like? I never remember this. Chickpeas? Yeah, chickpeas. Chickpea? Chickpea. Chickpeas. I like chickpeas. The paste thing, you know, I really like. I like Mexican food too, though. Oh, the dipping, the avocado thing, guacamole, ram, sheep. It's so interesting in English, like you change the word. You know, in Japanese, it's pretty much the same. Yeah, like we call pigs buta, and pork is buta niku. Like niku meaning meat. Pig meat. Beef is ushi, but usually ushi, like cow, ushi, right? And then ushi and niku meat, but it's like combined. Oh, apple pen. Combined, we changed the way to read it, so it's gyu, niku, but it's just, you know, cow meat. And yeah, same for chicken. Tori, bird, bird, birds are tori. Tori, niku, niku meaning meat. Tori, niku. Chicken. So confusing when I speak in English. Hawaii. Let's see. What time? Oh, the press conference is about to start. Should I go? Should I listen to? Maybe I just need to check the news coverage later. I don't know. Yeah, my husband will check everything. What do you think of American nationalism is rising? Donald Trump, Steve Miller, Laura Loomer. I think it's a good thing because America's political correctness has gone way too far. You know, like they don't have common sense. Like the problem of leftists in general, like doesn't matter where you're from. The problem is that they study hard. I have to give credits for them, you know, that they study hard. They read books and they just dig into all the cultural things and so on. But they think so much in their head so that that drive themselves crazy. All the talks that liberals or leftists in general, communists too. Oh, Ishiba is there. Ishiba is there. My husband said like dirty, disgusting. The suits have a lot of stains. Yeah, it's a lot of white stains or something. Dirty. Hygienic. I want somebody hygienic. He's speaking now. Where was I? What was I talking about? I should be a little quiet so that my husband can listen. Anyway. Oh, super chat, thank you so much. Stream your reaction to Ishiba's conference. You never know, he might do something wacky, like put his hands up to his head and do chaos. I'm gonna encourage him. Meow. Meow. No, he's talking about America. that Japan is having a difficult time, and then there was the tariff negotiations. Tori sits on Tori. Yeah, Tori and Tori. Actually, I learned from Daijiro that English speakers cannot hear the difference of like things like that, like Tori and Tori. In Japanese, it depends on the length, of like whether it's a different character. My name, Youko, it's Youko. And Japanese people hear it, we can instantly tell like Youko, Yoko, Youko, Yoko, Yoko, Yoko. There's a sound when you extend that sound, but English speakers cannot tell. Let's see. What should I talk about? Yeah, the Ishiba says like the responsibility that he has to take, and then he was thinking about it, but the responsibility that he has to take is to quit, and he never did until now. Oh, he's making an excuse that because the Japan-US negotiations are now over, he's gonna quit because it's a good timing. It has nothing to do with America, man. Excuse. Please do not, like, if you look at the news, please do not take him seriously. He's just making excuses. Is it Tori or is it Tori with a long I vowel? Tori. Vowel. You need the vowel. Can I message my famous American influencers what Japanese thinks of the tariff deal, ATM deal? No, I don't know the details of the deal, so it really depends of how it's delivered, I think, or like how they run the system. Where was that? I saw the they don't do, yeah. 元気ですか私の人生元気ですか元気 Where was that Trump deal? I lost it. I often lose things in newspaper. Oh, here. Oh, here. Here. So there's a part, like, so the ATM thing, I don't know if it's ATM, but Japan and America will talk like adversary or cooperation together, and then after that, Americans will have an investment committee, and I guess Latonik will be the head of the chairman, and that Japanese people will be, of course, like excluded. And then Trump decides. So like we don't have the initiative. Like we can't decide. America will decide what to do. So that's why there's a problem. There's a problem, I think. Oh, this is a good news about European countries. Trump is saying that European countries should stop importing Russian oil. Good job. I mean, European people will somehow come up with a way to have their own new what's the word? Like electronicity and so on. So Japan now, because Ishiba is talking now, we will have the election for to decide a new leader. So now our atmosphere will dramatically change for the future. So exciting. I'm in Budapest, Hungary, in my work game. You are in Budapest? You're Hungarian? Ishiba is showing on the big screen, so my husband is like, "Ugh." Sorry, I'm just a little quiet for my husband because he's trying to listen to the TV. Which parties will be part of the new coalition government? Which parties will be a part of the new coalition government? Oh, I see. No, fundamentally, it won't change. So in the coming election to decide the leader, there will be talks of the formation though, but it would not dramatically change. Yeah, but probably the key is like Ishin or like a what's the renovation party, and also a democratic party for the people. They might gain power, but I don't know. トランプはヨーロッパに口出ししない。Yeah, I don't know about to push like Europe to work to fight Russia better. That's good though. Hungarian food? I don't know Hungarian food. Hungary. No, we've never seen Hungarian place. Yeah, maybe in Tokyo. Yeah, we have had Russian food, but I think they closed. But Russian food, though, like many Ukrainians claim that their famous foods are actually Ukrainian, so that's interesting. Like I didn't know. I like Osaka invasion part. Ishin, why did they not push being a Trump party? Because they think that whatever reform is cool, and they don't really have any ideology or any picture. They just want to cut the like what's not necessary, even though many things are necessary. Ishin is good for revising constitution and so on, and national security and so on, but I just don't like the party much. Like as a party, you know, like there are good politicians inside, but the attitude that they have is kind of cringe to me, because we're gonna reform, man, like we gotta have all this reform, but they're saying that to look cool, and I can tell when people do that. So yeah. Let's see, anything else to talk about? Sorry for being quiet. Ishiba is speaking. Our prime minister is speaking right now. He said that strengthening Japan-US alliance is important, but I missed the but after but. Georgian restaurant in Tokyo, really? Also great food. Saying Ukrainian is favorite food sounds political. But I don't know. I don't think that they would lie. 2 months in Ukraine. Wow. Cool. I would like to visit one day. Like we are contributing a lot to Ukraine, so hopefully we get to get invited to the country one day. It would be cool. Like it would be cool to like China and Russia to just release the colonizing states, nation states. If they let go of those places, we could travel there. Right now, you can't if you are a patriot in your country and attacking China and Russia. But if they collapse and the colonization falls apart, we get to go. And there will be many countries, new countries. It will be so much fun. And there will be a lot of culture that you have never seen before. And oh, yeah, and the history that you will witness, and it will be great. Yoko, you never told me if reading the newspaper is still common in Japan or if you just do it for us, the YouTube thumbnails. No, it's pretty common if you are a responsible adult. But younger people, though, I don't know. It's hard to tell because business people read the news, but sometimes they just do it online. Other times they just buy the economic newspaper. So it's hard to tell because there's no, I don't know, maybe I could look for a survey or something. But people around me read the news because not only that I'm an activist, but also like even my parents, of course, they're old-fashioned, but still like they wanna. This is just trustworthy, The narrative is bad. Still, people like my type of people still read the newspaper because we can put aside the narratives and just read the facts, on what happened and so on. All the narratives we can ignore, like okay, there here we go again, But yeah. But it's common, but the by common like Japanese people, of course, like we have many different types of people. Elites are gonna read the newspaper because that's what they talk about. They're running the country or running the society, running the business. Those people will read the newspaper. But regular people, they won't care as much, so they will probably read the news online. And I guess the difference here is kind of vague, and it's probably like leaning towards the online information because it's easier and so on, and thus the newspapers don't sell as much anymore. It keeps declining. Like it doesn't matter which company, it's just declining. So that's what's happening. And of course, like those who are at the bottom, those who do not care, they don't check the news. They just go on social media and hear from others. Yeah. Japan probably reads more physical print than any country in the world. They still have many bookstores, even mom and pop book stores exist. They also have modern libraries still being made. Yeah, we have libraries everywhere. Like local authorities have libraries, like city level and then prefectural level. So yeah, it's cool because we get to go for free because we have all the taxes here, So we get to go for free, and if we want to read something, we can have a request. Not always get validated. Is it validated? Like it doesn't get, approved always, but yeah, often we get to read what we want to read, so it's all good. And yes, Japanese people actually love reading, like, or like we are like our communication is not, what's the word, verbal, but we really love verbal expressions, like in writings and so on, like puns and so on. Or like we have a long history, like our language has been the same since the beginning of our beginning of our history. So our writing changed though. At first it was like Chinese looking writing, but and we had like simpler ways to write it, and then another, but yeah, but then we have had the same language, and then so like a lot of cultural aspect has deepened. Yeah. Oh, he's saying that Japan-U.S. negotiations, it's not the end. That he is kind of regretting that he cannot take the responsibility at full as for the negotiations, because he has to leave. I'm like, just leave, like he should have left earlier so that this somebody else with actual ability could have worked on it. Like it would probably troubled America for a little while, like temporarily, but I know that they are spontaneous, and America is not gonna, get baffled by that. Let's see. Okay. Yoko, I acknowledge you are right on Putin and Russia. I was pro-Russia, anti-Ukraine. Oh. Library are free here in USA too. Cool. But is it popular to go to libraries? When I go to libraries, it's full of the elderlies. Young people, children are sometimes there. But yeah, like those who like working people probably just buy books, especially through Amazon. But going straight to Amazon is dangerous. Like bookstores are cool because just like newspapers, there are books that you have never seen before. And it's important to widen your perspective, like to get a stimulus, like, oh, there are people like paying attention to this and that. Like I had never thought about it, let's grab the book and read. So then through that you expand your knowledge. And it's really important, but now we are living off of algorithm, and like and it's dangerous because it's all about relevance, things being relevant, right? I find it cool because it generates money and also like people getting attention, and when you want to know something, you can like dive deep into that category. But other times you need to just have the balance to actually understand where you stand and what you're learning. So it's really important, I think, that to know the big picture. I'm from Eastern culture, so I am more into the big pictures. I find it that Western people tend to focus on like magnified things, and that's what you care about. But we over here in Eastern culture, we think about the big picture and how it's organized, or orchestrated, and to see the balance in everything so that we can keep going on. He just said, oh, Japan society cannot go to this easy populism. He hates populism. funny. Whatever. Like he doesn't like populism. That's not me. Let's see. What should I talk about? Anything else? If you give me super chat, I will jump on it. I'm a little quiet because my husband is watching the news. Only 2 weeks of peace were ruined by Netanyahu. Hamas also pointed at Putin. I don't know. Like, like Israel has to like make sure that they do not get attacked again. The problem that I see, the real problem is the terrorists. They're enemies, you know, Israel's enemies. Like terrorists are inside the, like they are pretending to be an unarmed civilians. You know, they hide among the civilians and then they get attacked. So that's a problem, I think. So they should just get rid of those people who are saying like, oh, Israel, please stop attacking. They should do something about all the militants among themselves, you know. Because if they just give up and just don't stop, like they started it, and yeah, it's weird. Like they have their own problem inside and do not take care of it and rather attack the opponent. Like it doesn't make sense to me. Like if there are like Japanese terrorists inside Japan, Japanese people attack them. You know, like don't do that. You know, we catch them and jail them because that's what you're supposed to do. And that's not happening in other countries sometimes. Oh, super chat. Thank you, Bird Up. Thank you. My city's library is really just a hangout spot for homeless people, really? There's a room for Somalis to learn English and a small children's section, but that's it. Somalis? Like Somalian? Somali? What? Why? I'm confused. Why only Somali, though? What are there many Somali people? But library has this good vibe, though. I like going there, but they don't have a. My local library doesn't have a good collection. So because of course I go to the politics section. They don't have a good. They did have John Bolton's memoir though, really thick. I want to actually read it. I know that you guys do not like Bolton, but it's. I want to hear, as I said earlier, like I want to hear both sides, and I only briefly read the beginning, and I realized that Bolton actually has a lot of like knowledge, like kind of sophisticated politically, you know. So like it's different from his attitude, but yeah. There's a huge Somalian immigrant population here. That's interesting. Maine. Portland, Maine. Cool. Somali, is that, what's her name? Isn't there a congresswoman? What's her name? With the, wasn't she Somalian? I remember when I was in middle school, I logged into Facebook, public library. Someone hacked my account and was messaging people later that, oh no, oh no. Wait, you were in middle school when Facebook was there? I was in university. You must be younger. I was the first time I saw Facebook was in university. Like I was going into like there was a building that exchange students, like foreign students, were studying in on my campus, and I would often hang out in the lobby, and like I saw like my friends and also like others like I didn't know, like exchange students were checking into Facebook. So I'm like, what is that? Because I was only on MySpace. So I'm like, what is that? It looks boring. Oh yeah, Omar. Yeah. 25. Oh, good times. 25. 26 next month. I keep forgetting it's the soon. It's gonna get faster and faster. Just so you know. It's so crazy. Like this year is just flying by for us. So crazy. Oh man. 25 is when I received what it's called, a YouTube Next Up award. YouTube was not as big back then when I was 25, and I was one of the 11 or 12 people in Japan who won the award. Like it's everyone got the gold medal basically. Like all 11 or 20, 12 of us. So yeah, I was one of the top people in Japan back then. But yeah, but because I won the award, like there was a gathering in Tokyo. I attended that, and then they told like we had to take the classes, and by Digital Hollywood University, and then it was good, but then they talked about the know-how of like how to begin the video, that for the first 15 or 8 to 15 seconds you need to grab the attention of the people, or you need the intro, outro, or you need to insert the links here, blah blah blah. And by that, like I was making my own content and doing well, but they taught us like how to, like they basically put us in like frames, like put us in the box. So then I started to doubt myself because they are professionals. They must be telling the truth. And then I wasn't like I was depressed too. So like I didn't trust myself well. So then like I started to listen to them over myself. And then I started to kind of not enjoy it anymore. So that was a decline for us. Trust in yourself. Ishiba is still speaking, getting questions from the press. It's so weird. He says that there's no space, like in national politics, there's no room for space. I can't directly translate that. Like, there's no time to waste, basically. That's what Ishiba is saying. But because he didn't resign sooner, he made a lot of, he wasted a lot of time. So annoying. Oh, super chat, thank you, Bird Up. It's Bird Up Day. Thank you so much. I'm at the age where I've actually had to Google my birth date to remember how old I am. I've been there though already. I'm like years ago. I'm 38, right? And I had to actually go on Google. I have done it. I'm 40 now. I'm aging, and I have air conditioner on, so then it's always like it's drying my skin, so I feel like I'm aging faster. I need to make the what's a humid. I need to make it humid. We will all AI our ages soon. Yeah. What's cool about today though? Like, I am so thankful for whoever made the technology to filter Like right now, I have a little filter actually, like just to smooth my skin. I'm so thankful. And for my editing software, or I mean application, I'm so thankful that they have that kind of filter to that like smooth my skin. I'm like, I'm 40, so like it's a good time, right? Like I start, there will be more wrinkles and so on, and my pores will be open, and it's gonna get tougher as a female. So now they have the technology to trick it. So I'm like, oh, thank you. I'm always appreciating all the technology. You're still young at heart. Yeah. It's so weird. Like, when I was younger, I thought that like aging would make you smarter and more down to earth. I guess I am smarter and more down to earth, but like I'm still me. It doesn't change. Yeah. Still depressed? Oh no, because I'm very lonely in real life. That happens, yeah. Also, my dad died a week ago. Oh yeah, you told me. Yeah, his behavior hasn't his passing forever. Yeah, so much bureaucracy after that. I'm really sad to hear that. Some of you should go meet Napoleon. Go meet him in real life. Yeah. I mean, I have the problem too. Like, my best friend is my husband, and with this political knowledge, and also like, I think I'm actually mature, So because my husband is 9 years older than me, and he's mature, so like, if you talk to that kind of person all day long, every day, then you get mature, right? So then my standard is him. So when I go try to meet people my age or even older, go talk to them, I actually do not get along because of their thought process and their poor knowledge and so on. Social people still make it work, but I am too honest with myself. I'm like, I know when things are not fun. It becomes stressful. So I should just forget that, right? And just, enjoy the fact that I'm hanging out with somebody. But yeah, it's tough. Yeah. Like, I don't want to give advice to people randomly, right? Like, if they're not looking for it. But I would probably just give advice like, oh, you should think that way. You should think like this logically, like this and that, like in this order, and then there's a conclusion that you can have, and then based on that, you should take this action. Da, 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 da. I would become a mind coach, and I shouldn't do that to others, if that's not needed. So, yeah, I do feel lonely. By the way, loneliness is natural, so you shouldn't care too much about it. We are all lonely today because we have the internet, and because of that we get to connect like this, but locally we're disconnected. That's what happens. So yeah, I sometimes miss, even though I love talking to you and everything, I love the fact that I can consume a lot of English speaking content. I love American English. So like, I'm showering American English all day long. It's so wonderful. but but yeah, at the same time, I kind of miss the time when we didn't have the internet, like tune into the radio, record it on a cassette tapes, and just hang out with people, make appointments, show up on time, and hopefully the others show up. And if they don't, you have to go back to your house and call the phone, the landline phone of your friends and so on. Hey, what happened? Kind of thing. And and all the competition used to be within your circle or within your city, and it was easier, less competition. and so on. You could easily become the one of the smartest people in your local area, or cutest or most beautiful woman in the local area. But if you open the internet, a lot of competition. You do not speak English, you are right now. Yeah, Ishiba's suit is dirty. It's weird. I wonder what his secretary is doing. My husband's good one. My husband just said that Ishiba's suit has like some, I don't know if it's stain or something from his head, but like white dots on his suit, and it's dirty. And my husband is like, oh, it's symbolizing his career, like resigning this way, really dirty. My dad is murdered, was murdered when I was 1 year old. What? Assassinated by North Communist operation. That is awful. I am so sorry to hear that. Man. North Communist operation? Where though? Is it where are you from? Some of it really is brain development. Some things make sense to me that just wouldn't have before, if that makes sense. Some of it really, that just wouldn't have before. Oh, you become the company you keep. At least that's what they say. Yeah. Environment creates you, because on a cellular level, like Bruce Lipton, he's a doctor, right? Bruce Lipton wrote a book explaining that. Like, if you look at the cell, like the cell, it get affected by the environment, and it changes accordingly to the environment. What's it called? Is it nano? What was the name? There's a, like, how gene works. Like, there's a name for it. Was it nano? No, geno. What was the name? I forgot. There's a, like, a gene affects you, but you affects the, actually changes the gene. You change it. So yeah, I do that. Like, the reason why I can speak English is because of that. Like, of course, I studied the grammar and vocabulary, but after that, after I built the foundation, I'm just showering, set everything in English. Like devices and friends even and everything, all English. And then I just tell myself like, oh, you are in an English-speaking environment. Oh, Ishiba-chan, again, thank you so much. Ishiba's suit is dirty because he had to crawl through a military obstacle course to get into his press conference. Maybe he had a special route, because everybody is like, like he's like everybody's enemy right now. Cool. Yeah. Nobody likes him, seriously. Even the supporters of him, there are people who had like rallies outside of his office, prime minister's office, but even those people do not actually support him. They're just anti LDP, so they think that supporting Ishiba would damage LDP. That's what they're doing. So he's even not liked by his supporters. And the polls show that he's supported by the voters, but those voters are just, supporters of leftist parties. So of course, like, he's not gonna get the votes, and he is unpopular. So it's really sad. Like, There's nobody supporting him. Only the elderly people with not enough information. Epigenetics. Yes, yes, yes. That's it. Epigenetics. Self defense. Self defense obstacle course. Yeah. You affect gene. Yes. I am here because Bird Up gives me super chat. Thank you. You're giving me motivation. Like I love talking to you, of course. I'm just distracted by that, of course. So man. By the way, Prime Minister Ishiba is often his name often called Geru in Japanese. Shigeru Ishiba, but how we say our name is family name, then your name, first name. So me, like in English, I would say Yoko Ishii, but in Japanese, I would say Ishii Yoko this, right? Ishiba is Ishiba Shigeru. So Ishiba Shigeru, but then if you try to change the character, like in Japanese writing, you have to make it like a kanji, like complicated version. So then when you do that, it's like even though it's Ishiba Shigeru, it's often misspelled like Ishibashi Geru. That's why he's Geru. Oh, super chat! Thank you so much. Thank you. Yoko motivation. Yes! This is my motivation dance. I'm easily motivated. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much. Makes me happy. The sun is going down. This room is getting darker. My face is shiny because of the light, but I'm motivated. Thank you so much. I'm shining in the dark because of the super chat. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Board up is upping your game on super chat tonight. Yeah. Does YouTube, like if you look at the on the phone, does it show like, let's see. I have a feeling that it has the new icon, right? Let's see. Like they have like top fan thing is there. Yeah, I see that. The ranking is there. If you press like over here, there's a top fan thing. So then if you click, tap on that, I can see you. Yay! That's so cool. Thank you for all of you. There are many of you. Wow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm always, when I open my own channel, just so you know, like I see my own, I see my beautiful picture, and then I open my stream and I'm like, the face is so much different. I'm sorry for that. It's like a clickbait, but it's an angle, It's supposed to be like this, but I can't hold it, It's just unflattering angle, unflattering angle from. Trust me, I will look cuter in real life because you are probably taller than me, all of you. I'll be like, let's see. Can you hype your live stream? It's a new YouTube thing, it seems. Oh yeah. Like you can support some channels to boost up on like recommendation or something, right? I don't actually know how it works, but yeah, hype. Do that for me. I should, yeah, I want to make English videos too. I know. It's hard to decide the topics. It's easy to pick a topic in Japanese language, of course, because I'm Japanese living in Japan, but yeah, I should, yeah. I haven't been catching up with the news in the US because all the Ishiba thing is distracting me, you know. Finally, though, so next Japan will be talking about the election inside LDP, and that will decide our prime minister. So we will be in that zone for a while. But that's good, though, that finally a new prime minister will be chosen, right? So then me and my husband, we work with parliament members. So finally we can actually make appointments and so on, you know? When, when we don't know what's going to happen, it's harder to see what's going to happen and so on. So, la la la. Not just you look magnificent. Thank you. Is Ishiba still taking this long? Yeah. He's taking like press questions. I don't know which company, but she's asking the same question again to Ishiba, and she's not satisfied. So she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna send you by document the question." Oh, finally ended, right? Yay! Ishiba gone! Yes! Finally! Kanpai! Guys, Ishiba is resigning. Kanpai! I'm like, finally, we can kind of relax, you know? Ishiba was so awful. I'm sorry for Trump. He will have to, you know, like, and also like Laronik and what's his, ラトニックともう一人誰だっけ名前。ラトちゃんと、ベトちゃんか。ベッセント。ベッセント。Yeah, we're sorry for all the negotiation team and so on. You know that now our counterpart will be changed, but it will be better. Yeah, at least end it for now, but who knows what's gonna happen. But yeah, thank you. Such a good day. Such a good day, man. It's cool because tomorrow, our Ishiba's plan was to ask the people to bring in the documents to agree for the election, LDP election to happen tomorrow. Like, it's hard to explain, but yes, tomorrow was a big day to decide what to do, but. Now Ishiba just voluntarily quit. So, yes. But when you'll be? いつになるの総裁選。It's gonna continue until, of course, until we pick a new one. So until then, we have to bear with him. But for now, we know that he's gonna quit. So, yeah. Thank you, Bird Up, again for your super chat. Is there a Japanese equivalent to the No No Hey Hey Goodbye song that you can sing when Ishiba finally leaves? What is that song? No No Hey Hey Goodbye? What? Am I supposed to know that song? No, no, hey, hey. Oh yeah. this. What is that song? I need to sing that. That looks like a good song. Yeah. Cool beans. Oh yeah. I will learn that by the time he leaves. So I can sing that to you, I guess. Na 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 hey 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 goodbye. Sayonara. 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 I know only the phrase. I don't know how the song goes, but there's a song like that. Sayonara. Sayonara. Who should be Japan's new leader? I hope Takaichi. Yeah. Old classic. Na 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 na. Hey hey hey. Goodbye. Maybe I know that song. I can't. I love your background. Thank you. It's my art. I drew that. I like this. This is so cool. The paper is nice, so I wanna. It's just a carbon thing, but it's easy to draw on it. So I want something big, like big canvas. I usually draw on like this size, like a really small paper. So yeah, thank you, thank you. Yeah, one day, hopefully, I get to, I don't know. It'll be cool to send my art overseas, but it got complicated recently after COVID and then Trump administration, like with the tariffs and so on. So I don't know, when everything is kind of settled, hopefully I get to sell my art again. Yeah. Somebody was saying like, oh, you should have an exhibition in New York. just wherever, it can be like a small place in New York. Just do it once and then say that, oh, I had an exhibition in New York. Right? Just so you can pretend like that. Somebody was saying like, oh, do it. If I get rich, I'm buying it before anyone else can. Thank you. It'll be cool. Toast Hawaii. When we toast, we say banzai. Really? Especially at weddings? Wow. Where did kanpai come from? Probably it's written in the way that dry the cup. So maybe that's just literally, that's it. Modern art needs to be not beautiful to be successful. That's a good point. I need to like draw something from like lower body or something. Make a monument of our things below to be famous today. Remember when Me Too movement happened? Women are having their own thing as their hats and so on. It's just nuts. It's just crazy. Crazy, crazy people. I watched a German video recently, English dubbed by AI. Ooh, yeah, like I do see like auto dubbed YouTube videos. It's so weird. Like my YouTube app is set in English just because I like it better that way. And then I do watch Japanese YouTuber videos too. And one day I opened the apparently like Japanese video and then they started to speak English. I'm like, what is happening, right? Like, why are you so fluent? But no, it was auto dubbed thing. It's crazy how it works. It's probably accurate too. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Hopefully you get to watch my Japanese videos too. But the problem of Japanese language is though is that like our pronunciation is not good in our own language, you know? And there are many ways to say one thing, or one thing can mean many different things. So probably it won't be much accurate if they have their unique way of saying, you know, like they probably judge by the other context, you know, other things in one video as the context, and then judge, oh, this must be the meaning, you know, and they probably calculate. But I don't know if that works with my videos. Yeah. Anyway, it's good news. And then in 3 minutes, it's gonna be 7 p.m., which means that there will be NHK 7 o'clock news is happening, and they will have a coverage of Ishiba again. Let me check X briefly to see what people are saying. Let's see. Oh, our expert, one of them just already wrote something. I'm gonna this. Let's read that. The prime minister is the highest authority in our country, but that does not mean we can not mean can do anything they want. To maintain power, they must at the very least secure the support of three political forces: the ruling Liberal Democratic Party, the coalition partner Komeito, and the Kasumigaseki bureaucrats, starting with the Ministry of Finance. To gain and maintain the support of these three political forces, high public approval and strength in elections are essential. And to win over public opinion and keep winning elections, the following are crucial: 1. Economy and employment; 2. Handling public opinion and media, including responses to political scandals; and 3. Diplomacy and security, particularly maintaining good Japan-US relations. Manuscript written last year. I want to keep these basics in mind. And this is from Mr. Ezaki. Oh, he wrote it last year, I guess. Let me see. Oh, it's from this. When Kishida resigned, was about to resign, I guess. Interesting. And it still applies. It's cool because I just translated using X. Like there's a translation button. So original is this. Yep, yep, yep. Another reaction. Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba himself stated that he would formally resign. This time it was not fake news. Another, this is a scholar, Japanese scholar. See, the top news is Ishiba quitting. Now they're going all over again. This time I decided to resign, and he shouldn't hold on to his position. And after doing everything that he needs to do, he will quit at the right timing. And he just did, basically. I mean, he will continue for a while, but yeah, he's bringing up the tariff negotiations that it kind of ended for now. So that was the timing for him to quit. So then he decided to leave the path for other people. He likes to repeat the word responsibility. the responsibility to take, and then the baton will be passed on to the next leader. There are more things that he wanted to do, but he had to decide the difficult decision he had to make. And as for the leader election, he didn't want to go into it because there could be like a division inside his party. Doesn't make sense. Seriously, like it has nothing to do with the US, it's power struggle inside LDP and him not giving up his position. So he just thought the Japan US negotiation is useful to take advantage because he was pressuring his people not to demand the resignation of him. And also he even threatened his own party people that he will dissolve the parliament, I mean, yeah. He was threatening because then he would, those who oppose to him inside his party, he will not let them use the party name and so on. Basically, that's his threat. So, whew. So tomorrow it was it was supposed to decide it tomorrow that Ishiba has to quit, like all the people, were showing, more and more people showed that he needs to resign. So basically he was starting to look bad, So then he decided to voluntarily quit. Yeah. So if he had waited out until tomorrow, then it would be that he was basically dragged down, and he chose with the lesser of two evils. He decided to resign, show that he's gonna resign today. He have resigned or he will resign. Is there any confirmation? He will resign. Yeah. But until LDP has the election to decide the new leader, in the meantime, of course, he has to be the leader. So until they decide the new leader, he will do the job. いつだろうね、総裁選。わからん。フルスペックか。There are two ways to だから党員が投票するかどうかぐらい。そう。でも今回は途中だからね。途中？つまり3年の任期の中の途中だから。そうか。途中だから本来は党員は入れない。はいはい。議員だけで選ぶのよ。本来は。3年の途中だから。総裁の途中ってこと？So because Ishiba right now is in the middle of the term as the LDP leader, usually it's the full period and then full term and then have election. But now he's voluntarily quitting in the middle. So then what kind of style is the election will be? Because usually when the one leader, LDP leader quits, then they have a full spec election, meaning that parliament members and LDP supporters, like just regular ordinary people, who are registered into as LDP party, they can vote and it will be reflected. But since it's in the middle, he all of a sudden has to quit. How is it gonna be? Is it gonna be only the parliament members only, or the people supporters will be, their opinions will be reflected? Because if it goes like full spec, then like all voting together, then it's convenient. It's more better for Takaichi because she's supported by the people. But yeah, and then Takaichi is probably not as popular among LDP parliament members. Koizumi is more popular inside parliament members. So depending on which way, like Koizumi is better with parliament members, Takaichi is better with the supporters. So which kind of way? All together, all together election or parliament members only to decide which way to do the election. Deciding that is already a political battle to decide the leader because it pretty much decided. I'm from India covering this news. Can you help me cover this news? Can you explain this to me? Was this enough? Was this explanation enough? If you like check, do you follow the Indian person? If you follow like Sankei, let's see. If you Sankei News, just follow Sankei News. Sankei, and then you can probably translate it. So then you can, as for the technical thing, you can probably get information. What are the implications of it? What do you mean? In what way? His position of an authority is diminished now. Yeah. Is Koizumi related to the former prime minister? Yes, he's the son. His brother, like other son of Junichiro, former prime minister, is an actor too. I mean, actor. Really looks similar. So weird. If Ishiba pushes forward with this, he will and should be regarded as the greatest criminal in the entire history of Japan for destroying Japan. Japan is its people, not Islam. Elon Musk, he said that? What? Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk sometimes barging out of nowhere. Ooh. That's interesting. He did write that. Can Japan stay in itself while changing? So Mario no fall? Like you know that guy, right? Like he often posts. Let me read what he wrote here. Like this Mario guy. Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba wants to import millions of Africans and girls. Oh my gosh! To make Japan. No, fake news. Oh my gosh! To make Japan more tolerant, citing his Christian faith. Oh my gosh. Oh, I see what's happening. He has previously warned Japan could cease to exist without higher birth rates. Oh gosh, you guys are making it out of context. What is this? なんだこれ? Wait, I'm gonna translate this and then read it to my husband and see his reaction. He's my mentor, basically, so. ちょっと待って、和訳。 聞いて、この海外のアカウントが言ってるね。日本の石破茂首相は日本をより寛容にするために数百万人のアフリカ人やクルド人を受け入れたいと自らのキリスト教信仰を理由に述べた。そこにイーロン・マスクが登場。このままでは日本ではなくなり、日本人がかつて住んでいた島々が残るだけになる。国とは土地ではなくその国民だとイーロン・マスクね。彼は以前から日本は出生率を上げなければ存在しなくMy husband said fantasy. My husband didn't even let me finish. Because just like me, he's like, no, I don't have to listen to everything. It's fantasy. I'm crying right now. Ishiba is crazy. Ishiba is liberal, but he's not that crazy. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like it's it's fake news that we are importing Africans. Like we're not authorizing any special visas or anything. It's just regular sister city kind of things. Oh. I can't stop laughing because it's so funny. Like, what is happening? What is happening? I'm crying, man. Oh, Ian wrote that? The source is him? Oh, man. I want to support him, but sometimes he goes off. Why do you have to put it like this? I'm gonna wait. I need to. This is how I work, First of all, I'm gonna screenshot Ian's post, and then screenshot this, and then I'm gonna work on it later. Let's see, and then the conversation is going on. You're watching me work right now. And then I'm gonna screenshot Mario's one too. This. And then Elon Musk's reaction. Oh, maybe I should write this into a Japanese article. Yeah. I can write an article for Hanada Plus, like a conservative media outlet. I'm a journalist too, So I'm just saying, he's a YouTuber too, but Atsushi Iwata. I'm gonna translate it. Someone please stop this long-winded speech from the Prime Minister who's stepping down. It's embarrassing all the way to the end. Oh yeah, Mr. Hayashi is often, we hear that name too. Let's see. Also, Eitaro Ogawa, he's really close to. He's a comment. He's like a critic, but Eitaro Ogawa, he was close to Abe. He's close to LDP in general, especially Kishida today too. He wrote something. I'm gonna read it for you because they can translate it. Oh, Super Chat? Oh, Super Chat, Bird Up, thank you so much. Wait, so Africa didn't annex Japan? Are they determined to annex Japan? Yeah, some people got it wrong. Like, was it Tanzania Times or something like that. Like some outlet, wrote a fake news, that we don't even know the media, and they just wrote some crazy article, and then I mean, on our side, hometown terminology was wrong to do that. It's confusing. So there are some responsibility on our end too, like for the miscommunication. But so there was this African media that wrote something, and then BBC and others used that as a source. So that's why it went crazy. But yeah. So does it have any effect on us, Japan? U.S. Japan new trade deal signed just a few days ago. I don't think so. Is it seen as a political chaos? No, Ishiba staying was chaotic, because usually I talked about it earlier, but yeah, usually leaders, when they lose an election, they resign. But it's, yeah, usually on the day that they lose, they quit. Leaders quit. But Ishiba didn't quit. But that's by common sense that people quit. But he didn't, because he's crazy. And then we were trying to figure out how to, because it's not a written rule, So because it's by common sense, but he doesn't has common sense. So then we were figuring out how to make him step down, and finally it worked. So that was the crazy part. From now on, the regular part. Yeah. If you, by the way, want to know what happened with African thing, just go to the website of what's the word? Foreign Ministry of Japan. they have a document. Let me see if I can. 外務省アフリカ。This one. It was issued on August. Oh, I will just copy and paste this to you in the chat here. Let me. Ding. Did you get it? It's this. It's this. Facts regarding the JICA, Africa hometown, Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Japan. Ooh. Yes. Yes. Hello, Pakistan. Hello. The grossly exaggerated stuff gets even worse with language barriers. Yeah, seriously. Ishiba is the Biden of Japan. You could say that. Sorry, my lord. You could say that. Yeah. Let's see. Maybe your English video can be stuff the English speaking world is misunderstood. These videos can be stuff the English speaking world misunderstanding is believing that just isn't true at Japan. Rwanda seems to have a well-organized army. I heard the story of city friendship with Nigeria. Nigeria is not just in Africa. It has an economy literally based in online scams of workers. So for Japan, our threat is China. There are Chinese silent invasion happening in Japan. Both militarily and also economically, and also there are people coming to Japan, living here. More and more Chinese people are here, creating their own community and so on. So the threat is there, right? And like by militarily, I mean like they are trying to get Senkaku Islands of Japan. They are invading into our territorial waters or waters around territorial waters that happen like every day. They come in multiple vessels. They come into the airspace also. They sometimes tour with Russian aircraft too, or ships too even. So we have that threat. And China is investing a lot in so-called global south. And that's a competition that is happening. Like, do we get to have like the southern countries like Asia and also African countries? China always like there's a scam. They are scammers though. They basically trick the people and then sign a deal and then just get the land and resources. That's what they do. And African countries are a target as well. And so it's important that we do have like a friendly relations with African countries. And as for Japan, we are not like other Western countries, Japan is, of course, we are Asian, we are so-called colored, and I don't know, like we have stood with African countries, and even Shinzo Abe, he had Abe Initiative. It's all of this is based on that, Abe Initiative, 2013, I believe, and so it's important for us. Basically, when you like Japan needs to have good relationships with other countries to sustain our economy. Like we don't have resources, like oil and like natural gas. Like we have to import from other countries, and also because of that, like we do need globalism. Abe, for example, was often from the right wings. He would get criticized as a globalist. So, but that's the reality that Japan is in, where we are located and everything, In African countries, just like other countries, we need to invest for our own country. And immigrants and so on that come with it are another story, right? And with other countries too, we do have that sort of relations. Japan is like our passport, by the way. If you have it, you can go anywhere most of the time. It's our trust from international society is really strong. So that's just how Japan is. That our ancestors opposed to like a human race discrimination, in the UN. I think like early 1900. I don't remember exactly, but you can probably look it up. So, yeah, things like that. So it's our political. All the investments, there are like right-wing type of people who just deny everything, but I don't think that's healthy, because in politics you need to make more allies and also make sure that you have all the economic ties and so on for your own countries prosper. But it's about how and where's the limit and so on that we need to discuss. So, oh, I hear Trump. They're talking about America-India relation. Yeah, deeply appreciate and fully Trump, blah, 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 blah. They were showing the post of India. Let's see. Do you watch baseball at all? これ山本の話なんだ。ノーヒットノーラン。 Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Do you know him? Picture. Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Yeah, he was gonna get no hit, no run. I don't know if it's like the same wording in English, but it was one more time and he missed it. Oh yeah, the trade deal. 石破が辞めたことでね、関税交渉に影響が出るのかって。No, my husband says no. We will not have any. Will there be any effects on U.S.-Japan newly signed trade deal? Yeah, yeah. Whoever becomes a prime minister of Japan, it won't change. もう方向性が決まってるから。Yeah, Japan's direction has been already decided. For the next 3 weeks or so, until we decide a new leader, nothing will be, changed or discussed. So, but yeah, it will not make any difference. Japan is an interesting country, or to us, it's other countries that are kind of weird because leaders overseas get to decide a lot of things, right? But in Japanese politics, it's really pretty moderate. Whoever becomes the leader, fundamentally, our bureaucracy is firm and steady because our leaders change often. So they support a lot. So, and the politicians discuss with them, and our direction are usually the same, It doesn't dramatically change. Even if they want to dramatically change, it's just not realistic. Home run. Yeah, even the leftist party becomes our prime minister. It doesn't really change. With opposition party, I mean, yeah. Yeah. Wilson, who was the president of the Princeton, opposed her daughter to marry Korean patriot Ri Syngman, his best student. Man, I hate Wilson. Wilson is a bad guy. Bad. He's all the Wilson babies did a lot of harm in politics. Wilsonians, right? The bureaucracy is the same in the West and can be more powerful than elected leaders. Yeah, but yeah. Japanese society is a little different though. It's not like vested interests, Because if politicians change, our bureaucrats will change in a good way if they want to have a good shift. But fundamentally, what Japanese people envision is pretty much the same. So China has invested in Africa for years and not recent things, so does Russia. Yeah, I mean it's been going on, yeah. What was that? Like one. What's I forgot the English. One road initiative. 一体一声入りますよあなた。My husband is watching an animal show and getting excited. One Belt, One Road Initiative. Belt and Road Initiative. Oh yeah, they changed that name, right? Belt and Road Initiative. Yeah, had that too. I mean, that's a Eurasian kind of thing, I guess, but yeah, China is really thinking ahead. Of course, I am against Communist Party of China, but their strategy that they look for the next 100 years and so on is actually impressive because my country doesn't do that. So, yeah. I really, African countries and all the other, like Southern Asian countries too, like some of them, I want them to have their own abilities and so on too, though. Like, oh, すごい。ああ、あれですね。ちゃんとあそこも踏まないように。Yeah, what was I saying? I'm distracted by my husband. Did Wilson refuse it, or was interracial marriage illegal in general back then? Oh, good point. But was it? Who was? 人種差別撤廃のやつに反対したの誰だっけ？それがウィルソンだよね。Yeah, like Wilson opposed to. So when at the UN back in the day, Japan said that we wanted to, we suggested that we should end racism, and it didn't go through. Didn't get approved because of Wilson. America refused it. He's bad in many, many ways. Anyway, super chat ended. Should I go? I've been talking for a long time. This is supposed to be like an hour live stream, but then I was late, so I'm like making up. What's the word? Making it up for you, huh? Yeah. 180分 I should probably go. It's like 3 hours. Crazy, but I got a lot of super chat thanks to Burnup and others. Thank you so much. Yeah, I should go, I guess. It's Sunday. I have to get the garbage out. Next week. Yeah, next week I'll be here. The week after next week, I might not be able to make it. But anyway, I guess the comment section is sleeping now. So I should probably go. It was good seeing and talking to you, Yoko. Thank you so much. I will go now. I'm gonna go now. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this long. All the sleeping people too, or quiet viewers. Thank you so much. And thank you for those who gave me super chat, especially. Thank you so much. What's your prediction next week? I can't tell, but our atmosphere will change. We will be diving into the leader election. So that will be something that I will keep talking about. Yeah. But I guess I can now focus on like regular news because I was distracted by Ishiba. But now we know that he's gonna quit within the coming weeks. So yeah. I'm just glad that he's gonna be finally gone. I hope that there won't be any more drama. Okay, choose. Thank you. Japan didn't propose to end racism. No, that was, what was it? 人種差別撤廃。日本。Was it 1919? Japan decided, what was it? Yeah, we suggested that. Yeah, and Wilson opposed it. You should look into history. そうそうそう。だから全部一致せないかんかったよ。Yeah. Ah, right, right, right. So we suggested racial equality proposal in, I think, 1919 or it doesn't, yeah, or so. And then Wilson changed the rule because he was a chairman. Majority agreed, but he said that it must be what's the word? Like everybody has to agree. So then it didn't go through. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you next week. Okay. In the meantime, follow me on X, even though I'm not posting as much. But yeah, thank you so much. This was a good day and stream. Yay! Thank you. So glad. Okay. Have a good night or have a good day. Okay. Bye.